I was going to start working on a project, so I said, well, I will turn the camera on. Sorry, I have paint on my hands. Not from art today. I was painting a wall. So, I'm making postcards, and I was going through a lot of my stash, and I came across a bunch of postcards that had images that I wasn't too crazy about, like, trains. This has no Santa Claus, and if you like trains, that's fine, but the quality of these isn't that great. So, and then this one was printed weird, so it's like, you know, makes you dizzy. The only one I didn't mean was I do like that picture, so. But I thought we'd alter the postcards because I do like this side. I do like the postcard side. I like the fonts. So I thought that I'd cover these and then leave this side. And then there's a few of them that I'm making for Happy Mail. So, then I can write something on that side. And I thought I'd take you along for the ride. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to put some painty papers for backgrounds. So I'm going to use my little needle tip glue bottle here, which if you've watched any of my recent videos, I really can't say enough about these silly little things. They were definitely worth my money on Amazon. And then most of my painting papers are double-sided, so I just need to pick a side and glue that down. I'm only going to do a few today. I'm not going to do this whole giant stack, but a handful of them. But, I had them set to go. I was going to toss them or whatever. And then I said, well, why am I going to do that when I can recycle them? And that's what we are going to do today. So, always think about what you can do with something before you toss it. Unless it's something, like I got rid of a ton of packaging stuff. You can only have so many clothing tags, and this is the one that I really like. I'm going to use this side, even though I do like that side. That's the hard part when you have double-sided painting papers. I'm trying to build up my painting paper stash where I have some that are single-sided, so there's no decision to make, and then some that are double-sided to use as tags or journal pages or whatever. Maybe I'm thinking too much into simple painting papers, but that's what I'm working on. But I've had this flower page for a long time, wondering what I was going to do with it, so this seems like a better idea than as good an idea as any, right? So we'll work on these four, and then these ones I can do at another time. And I'm going to cut this up. See, so that makes a cool looking postcard. And always remember to hold on to your painting paper scraps, because you put a lot of work into those painting papers. So these I'm definitely going to keep. I gotta do some scrappy projects this weekend because I have some scraps. Ooh, love it. I have some scraps to go through. I'll tell you what. We have had some treacherous rains here today. So bad that my daughter was dismissed early from school, and she has a 2-hour delay tomorrow. So that is how serious the water is in our area from this rain. Rivers are flooding and roadways are wiped out in some areas. I know that one of the roads near Walmart always floods, so that one is really screwed up, that road out there. And they just rebuilt that bridge last year, so... Nope, just a regular video. This come from, if you know auto parts stores at all, you can buy those boxes of shop rags, and this here was like a happy accident because this is the inside. It was one of those big boxes of shop rags that's a roll and you pull the rag out of the top. This box had gotten wet, the box did, and then it dried, and all of the paper came off, and I was left with all of this yummy corrugated stuff, and it is like stretchy and it's pliable. But anything corrugated that you have will absolutely work for these types of projects. You don't have to have any kind of fancy cardboard. I use boxes, Amazon boxes all the time, and I just roughly draw myself a heart. It's not going to look good, but it's going to be what it is. And then cut it out. And it's going to be wonky. Okay. Wonky heart. I draw myself one to like almost get my hand into the zone. I don't know how to explain what I do. And then I just kind of freehand the other hearts that I make. And again, it's going to be wonky. It's not going to be perfect.
Can this make color?
No, honey, it's just a regular pencil. And cut a third one. Again, wonky. And we need one more. But I will tell you one thing. It is much easier to pull the corrugation off after you cut the heart. If you're using an Amazon box, it's much easier to do that because then if you want to, you can leave some of the corrugation on there. I am going to grab some Distress inks, and we are going to just ink these a little bit. I keep my Distress inks in this little basket right here. And I have pads. I know like some of you don't care, but I do, and I have pads for all of my individual inks, and I like the aged mahogany. So what I do is I like to go around the edges and get them nice and dark, right? Get in there. Get right in there. I like the edges to be nice and defined. Okay? And then I'll spread it around a little bit. Don't have to be, it doesn't have to be covered, but just get it on there, okay? So I have one like that. Let's do seedless preserves. I like a purple too. See, I didn't end up needing this, so I better put it back where it came from. I was going to use the pad, and then I thought about it. The only thing I don't like about the Distress inks, and I'm sure everybody has this problem, is all of these little fibers come off, and they can make a mess of your fingers or your project if they get on there. So if anybody has any tips for those stupid little things, to avoid them, that would be nice. Shh, Lil, I'm recording right now, okay? I'm gonna do this pine needles. I like this color too. So I'll do the third one in the pine needles. I think if you fold this, you can get in the cracks a little bit. But I made I made some wonky hearts for one project out of this corrugated stuff, and I've really been on a corrugated wonky heart kick ever since. I'm sorry for background noise. I'm sorry. It's just my life. Let's go with, we'll do the blueprint is good. That'll go nicely with my bluer, painty paper backgrounds. Alright, so that's our 4 wonky hearts that have been schlooped on a little bit. And what I have been doing... You want to put this on?
Yeah.
You want me to put the necklace on?
Yeah.
Okay. Necklace. Oh, you're just going to be a doctor?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Thank you. And I'm going to keep my inks out because I will be needing those again. And get out of the trash, okay? And I have this tea dyed paper that was ripped that I used to write things on. We are going to use this. And I will use a little bit of eyelash yarn. My phone just buzzed. I'm sorry if that startled anybody. I'll use a little bit of this brown. Let me cut this. Oh, I'm sorry. My phone is just gonna go nuts right now, I guess. Because I'm making videos with my phone and the quality seems to be nice. So I have some dictionary paper that I had left over from a project. And I am going to rip some of this out. Okay. And I'm going to glue it. Let's rip out a few pieces here. Okay. Let's rip out a few pieces and get the edges nice and raw. We're gonna ink those edges here in a minute. Okay. So this and that. Very nice. Okay. I am gonna ink these. We are gonna ink these up a bit. Okay. And if you are new and you're having, like, I'm going to tell you something about me. I have a hard time sometimes with embellishing because I am a very simplistic person and most of things in my life are not very embellished. So if you are like that and you need a little bit of help with embellishing, this is perfect because, like, this is my go-to. I start with, when I make some kind of an embellishment like this, I'm making a video. I start with a texture, then a book page, then a fiber, okay, and then some kind of sentiment or button or something on it. So that's what I would suggest if you need a little bit of help with making some kind of ephemera. That is like my routine every time. That's what I do. So I have a texture here. I'm going to do this on the red. I think the brown fiber will look better. So I have a texture here. I have a fiber. And when I say fiber, it could also be a lace or a little piece of ribbon, but something to give it a little bit more, you know, something to keep it interesting looking. Or you could have the same problem that I'm having where your piece stupid eyelash yarn doesn't want to stick. Let's really glob it on here. And put this on and just leave it for a second. And then I bought these a long time ago at Joann's for, I think they were $1.50. So we're gonna put a sentiment on there. And usually I would rip the paper, but I've decided that today I want to make a little piece of cut tag. And I'm gonna put love on each one. L-O. They're all in here screwed up because I let my kids play with them, so they got kind of screwed up. Yeah, man.
You need L-O-V-E?
Yeah. Alright, so I'm using the Distress ink because my other inks are
You guys are all gonna listen.
put away.
You guys are gonna listen.
O,
Do not see my paper.
V,
This is why you're not seeing all my words.
E.
You can see this, the back.
Alright, and then I'm just going to trim it a touch so that it's pretty close because I just want it, I do want this to be small. So, hold on 1 minute. So we're going to glue that and stick that on there. Okay. Here, let me help you, honey. Alright, that should stay. So, simple embellishment with your 4 things: texture, book page, fiber, sentiment. Or you could put a little button or a little picture or whatever on top. I'm doing stamped words today, but I usually do put buttons and pictures and other little doodads. You know, flowers. I have a box of little paper flowers that I make. So that's our first one like that. So I'm going to put that aside and I will glue my book pages down to the rest of them. And a lot of these I'll be sending out in swaps. I I've signed up for my first ever flowish swap, and I am pumped. I've never made my own, I have never made a flowish journal to swap. I'm excited to put in some of my painty papers and some of my strange papers that I've collected, and you know, things like that. I'm like really excited about the swap in general. Let me hold this for a second because this heart is a little wonky. I might have to get my other glue for this heart. And as you see, these two, the book pages are a little bit smaller. I will show you how I remedy that. Now, I'm definitely not a professional like coordinator or layout specialist, you know, but I've caught on to what I think looks right in a lot of these projects. So I'm gonna show you what I do.
You get up on this side.
So I'll work on this blue one next, and I got this gray yarn, and I'm gonna put this fiber way at the, I'm gonna like line this up a little crooked on there. Okay, let's glob this glue. Alright, so we're gonna do that. I don't know if I'm gonna use the gathered twigs for all of my stamping. I might do, let's cut me out another little rectangular. I'm gonna cut a strip of paper here so I can do the rest of them on one strip. Alright, so I will do this one. I'll use the same blue that I used on it. So L.
Mom, how do I look in this costume?
Beautiful.
Look, and my eyes can go up.
Oh.
That.
I love these stamps. If I never get any other letter stamps in my life, Veer, may get down, please. I will be perfectly okay with that because these stamps are just.
Mom said get down.
I think I know I definitely got them at Joann's. I think they were in the
Do not stand on the table
$1.50 or
again.
$2 bins they have there.
Okay, I gotta go dust my stuff up in this costume.
Okay. Cut off that little bit of excess and glue the crap out of the back of this. Oops. And put this on here. See, so I kind of put it down towards the bottom so you can see some of that book page sticking out there.
Now, do you all want to do this?
We'll leave that like that. We'll close this up. This goes to what, my gathered twigs. I'm losing all my pads here. I do like using the smaller distress inks because they do fit better.
My eyes can lift up.
Nice. They can lift up. They can fit better in a smaller work area, which is what I have. Is definitely not. I'm definitely not. You know. I'm not working in the Taj Mahal here. I'm working in a corner of a room that's also my daughter's bedroom. I'm gonna do the last two in this color because I do like this. And I'll tell you, I like the Dollar Tree trim, the Dollar Tree eyelash trim better than the other ones because it doesn't have as much fiber on it. Get down. Go in and wipe your nose for me. My daughter's tired, so everything right now is no, which is so perfect. Okay, this one I will do in a brown. I will do this one in. I'll do this one in gathered twig.
Do you really want to listen to this?
L
Nick, you're not listening.
O.
You know why?
V,
like it. No, no. I'm not sure.
E. I'll do the next one too. I'll do it in gathered twig. L,
Do these look like new words to you?
O, B.
The bad writing I wrote is because of my mom.
Shh.
Okay.
E. Ooh, that one I screwed up on, but that's okay. It looks good. All right, let me put these away.
What are these? What are you spelling?
Love, honey.
Why does that one look like a half triangle?
It's a V.
It's a V? Oh. Why do you still love? I love you. Are you gonna write you?
No, just love.
I love?
Yeah.
Why are you gonna write I love?
I'm just writing love. All right, go play, okay?
What are you gluing it to? Well, I can put some
All right.
custard. I'm gonna go put my custard.
Put that there. And glue my fiber onto this one.
Yes.
Yes, you don't ever sit down and watch them with me. Nugget noggin.
And stick that down there a little bit so you still get your book page sticking out at the top. One thing I love about this art form of mixed media is that wonky and a little off kilter is perfect. Nothing is measured, nothing is perfect. There's no, there's no pressure in having some kind of amazing, geometric style. So now we're going to take these, and on this one I am going to put this red kind of matches the dark a little bit. So I'm going to put this one with the red here. I might need to go get my Aleene's, but I'm going to go for trying this. Let's see. Leave the chair. Alright, let's see how that does. There is one. I think I'm going to do the green on my floral one here. That looks nice for number 2. I'm going to stick this right underneath my stamp so it straightens out the corner. This one, I will do my actual red one. That one I guess was my purple one. I should have done them opposite, but that's okay. They don't have to be, it doesn't matter. Nothing has to be perfect. So, as you can see, this is how a simple way to make something look beautiful. With little to nothing. Even if you don't have eyelash trim, there was a while that for some reason I didn't have any eyelash trim. And what I did was I took a bunch of pieces of string, like I had some embroidery floss and I had some thread, like thicker sewing thread. You could use regular sewing thread, and I folded pieces up into like that long of lengths, and I'd fold it like 4 or 5 times. And then I'd cut it, and it would create this feathery, stringy effect. So these are our 4 cards. 3 of them are here, and then the 4th one is under here, like the Wicked Witch of the West is under the house. And then you can put whatever you... Oh, look at this one I did backwards. Did I do all of them backwards? I did. Flip it around. Do I have time? I have time. Flip it around. I didn't even check that. That one's the right way. That one. So it was only 2. Look at... Oh my goodness. I have them the wrong way. Right way. Right way. Look at that. So I'm going to stick these 2 under here so that they... And that is it, man. That is it. I do have some paper... I am going to be making some paper bead videos because I have some serious pointers for newbies at paper beads. This is the kind of thread I was talking about. This, I take this and if you don't have eyelash yarn, I take this and I'll unroll it a little bit. And I will fold it, and then fold it again, and then fold it again, however many times you want, and then you trim that, you cut the folds, cut it in the middle, and you have some little splooshies. So I'm losing my voice. I gotta go get something to drink. I will talk to you all later. And I love you all. Ta-ta for now.